Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So right now, I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers. There is no time frame that this is being set for. Basically, soul doesn't do time, so whenever this resonates or you find yourself being drawn to this reading, that's probably when you need the information the most, okay? So I asked the Virgo energy, excuse me, what is this reading going to be about? And the energy told me very clearly, just open your hand and let go. I don't know what you're letting go of, but I do know that you need to let go, okay? So let's get you guys some cards. And I like to pull all my cards at the same time, so the flow of the reading is smooth. So let's see. I do feel a lot of tension and anxiety. I'm not sure if that's coming from some of that lunar energy from the hunter's full moon, but definitely a lot of tension and anxiety. Just give you your final set of cards. Oh, yuck. I was told to pull out that card. All right. I just got to pull two more cards. All right, here goes. Virgo, right from the start, we have got to talk. So card number 27, receiving. You've been struggling with allowing yourself to receive information, help, all of that. That's definitely something that Virgo can struggle with. It's not something uncommon. My thing is this, when you try and control, because the refusal to receive has to do with control, and control is rooted in fear. When you try and control something to the point where you're not allowing yourself to receive the help that you need, it doesn't benefit you anymore. You have to allow the help to benefit you. You have to allow these little quirks that you have within your character to benefit you on your journey. And once it stops benefiting you, like helping you to grow, then you have to examine where that's rooted in, okay? Now, your next card, the in-between, Hecate, card number 19. So you're kind of in that in-between phase where you know you need to change a few things about the way you interact with others, but at the same time, there's a lack of trust. Like, for some people, actually, for most Virgos, and this is true for a lot of people, when you've been hurt so much and disappointed so much, it becomes very difficult for you to trust other people. It becomes very, very difficult for you to just, let go of control and allow them to help you, because, I mean, let's face it, your standards are very, very high. They're very, very particular. As a Pisces sister sign, I pull in a lot of Virgo energy, and I know exactly what the struggle is like. Like, you're very particular. And the thing is, I had to learn, and we all have to learn this, whatever our expectations are, the people who are helping us, they're not us. So they're going to perform it however best they can. And so you kind of just have to be thankful for the help, and then you can take time later on and make the little tweaks that will, bring their work up to your standard. Okay. That's kind of rude of me to say, but that's one way to begin the coping process, to begin rewiring your brain to allow yourself to receive. But the good news is that you're at the in between, meaning you're already understanding and identifying the areas that need some modification within your life, within your perception. So this is a part of your growing process. You're on your way to growth. Okay? So that's a good thing. Now, the ugly part of this is there will be an attempt. It's like something doesn't want me to let you know this stuff, Virgo. Virgo, is that okay with you? Is it okay with you that you've been made to wait this long? And now, as I'm trying to give you your messages from soul, I keep coughing despite the fact that my cough is almost gone. That kind of tells me something doesn't want you to have this message. Something doesn't want you to grow. And are you okay with that? Raise your frequency. Raise it up. Feel yourself using those emotions of frustration and, oh, hell no, to create a fence around this space. Fill the space with your energy. This is my space. Nothing can enter without my permission. This is a perfect time to utilize the Virgo's elevated ability to control their environment. Control your environment. Okay? Control it. And I can feel you guys really focusing on this. This is beautiful, beautiful. The reason I'm encouraging you guys to do this right now is because this card pops up. Card number 16, Eva. Repeatedly, whenever this card pops up, this tells me there is treachery afoot. There is just some ugliness, intentional, attempts to derail you from your progress, distract you, to keep you vibrating in such a way that makes it much more difficult for your consciousness to rise. Are you okay with that, Virgo? Because that need to control, it can be an asset or it can be a detriment. So far, you've been allowing this to let that be a detriment to your growth. Now, that's part of your character for a reason. If you're a Virgo and you have control issues, it's not really an issue. All it is misdirected. You have an elevated ability to control for a reason. Control your environment. Dictate what's allowed to stay and what isn't. So push that Eva energy out. You've already created a fence. Grab her and push her out. Very simple. Grab her and push her out. And some people might say, well, that's not very spiritual. Well, you know what's not spiritual is allowing side BZs to be in your space. If you're the alpha, if you're the dominant one in your space, if you're the one in control, you are the alpha. And the alpha doesn't let interlopers invade. Okay? Push her out. Don't let her dictate to you. Now is the perfect time to allow that need to control to come forward and utilize it for your benefit. Make it an asset. Weaponize it. Grab her and kick her out. Because Virgo, I know y'all can do this. I know that Virgo energy can be really dominant and be like, no, you need to get out right now and have no apologies about it. So do it. Tell that energy, get out. Now, card number 41, bring it into form. Are you walking towards your destiny or are you trying to run away from it? Or are you confused? Do you not know where you stand within your journey? Because that's what this card is basically giving me the impression of. You know where you need to go. You don't really know if you want to go there because that area, you lose control there. You don't have the ability to really regulate your emotions, your responses. You can't control yourself very well. And maybe it's in that area of no control that you need to kind of visit here and there to get a real good idea of how freeing it is to have no control, to not always carry the burden of, the result on your shoulders. But that's definitely something that's going to be a process for you to get to. Okay, to be just okay with however things turn out. Um, I think maybe the most powerful thing you can do for yourself on this journey is be okay with failure. Really begin to refine what your definition of failure is, how you see it, perceive it. Because as I've said before in so many different lives, when it comes to working out, I'm definitely no fitness expert, but I do know a little bit. The most efficient way to gain muscle mass is to work out in such a way where you focus on one part, okay, one muscle, and you overload it and work it to the point of failure. Not until it burns, not until you're tired, but until you can't do it anymore. You push, 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 do one more, push. And then when it fails, yes, you've done it. You've done it because you created the maximum potentiality for micro tearing in your muscle. And so long as after that workout, within a specified amount of time, you consume the proper nutrients, the building blocks, your body will fill those micro tears with those building blocks. And you've gone ahead and fortified yourself. You've gone ahead and increased the potentiality of that muscle. And so failure is actually nothing more than an accelerated, efficient way to level up. So once you fail, you realize you've flattened out, right? And that's the perfect stepping stone to get to the next level. So Virgo, you have to shift the way you see failure. Sometimes projects need to fail. Sometimes relationships, friendships, partnerships, whatever it is you want to call it, sometimes they need to fail so you can level up. And it doesn't mean that when it fails 100% of the time, that bond is done. No, if that individual is prepared and willing to take that next step with you, then you've both leveled up together and your bond has deepened. So the fear of failure is crippling you in all aspects of your life. And again, it's fear, right? So what's control rooted in? Fear. This is all about fear, understanding your fear and that your fear serves a purpose. If you're going to try and live your life in a way where you're never afraid, because what that's failure, if you feel fear, you've failed, wrong, wrong. You're lying to yourself. If that's what you're doing, you're lying to yourself. Fear is a very, very necessary component of your learning process. And once you can accept that, once you can accept the way you learn, because if you're a visual learner, you need to see it being done in front of you. Okay. There's no way someone's just going to explain it to you or you're just going to read it and then that's okay. You understand. No. Learn the way you best learn. If you're a visual learner, then you have to see it. And Virgo, I think you're more visual than anything else. You have to see things playing out before you can actually begin clicking the pieces together and understanding this goes beyond what you assume it to be, what the outcome will be in the end. And this is part of the way you begin developing your intuition, gathering all the pieces and seeing how they fit together. And once you gather all these pieces, you can't assume to know what the picture is until the pieces have begun to actually take some form. Okay. So you can control things, but you have to really harness that controlling in a way that will benefit you. So here you go. See, card number 44, Saraswati, mastery. Okay. You have to master your fears. You have to master the responses to those fears. We're not just going to be reactions anymore. Virgo, you're very, very intelligent. And what's gone on is you've mastered the ability to rationalize the fears into something they're not, to justify the behaviors that are crippling you. Because it's scary to admit to yourself that, you know what? I don't really know what I'm doing. It's a very scary thing. And this is something you have to admit to yourself and be okay with. This is not something you have to admit to other people. You don't need to make an announcement. As long as you're able to accept these things within yourself and begin to process why you feel this way and how to move forward from that fear, then it will benefit you, will help you to grow. Card number 15, elixir of life. See, you're here. This is where you're holding on very, very low on that vine of life. Okay, very, very low. You're starting to blossom, but your focus is here, a state that you haven't yet reached, and you won't be able to reach it unless you let go of this low point. Okay, unless you let go of the low point where all the thorns usually are, you're never going to get to the actual full blossom up here. And you can smell it all you want, but if you simply let go of that place where you're most comfortable because you're afraid that you're going to grab onto thorns, the only time the thorn is an issue is if you're mishandling the plant. See how that works? The thorn doesn't hurt you if you're gentle with the plant. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you climb up higher in your inner and understanding of self and soul. You're here already. There's no point of you holding down here. Okay? All right, let's see. Card number 31. Trust yourself. Everything in creation is conspiring for your success. They're all pushing you forward. Everything in creation is pushing you forward, asking you, begging you, please let go of that place where you no longer fit in. Mentally, emotionally, sometimes socially, let go of that. Just let go of that. You have to allow yourself to rise. And part of the reason why it's difficult for you to rise above the things you've been struggling through and are still struggling through is because you carry the weight of the responsibility. Like it's all your fault if this doesn't pan out. Well, as much as I love you, as much as I think you're special and powerful, you're not that special and powerful that you're the only one creating this circumstance. It's called a co-created reality for a reason. And you can't control the other co-creators. And sometimes, again, it's in that failure that you get leveled out, that you lay flat on your face and serve as the next step for a new you that rises up from the ashes. But you have to allow yourself to be free to experience this process in whatever way possible. Because again, if you think that being laid out on your face, falling flat on your face and failing is bad, so you ball yourself up, how are you going to climb up over yourself? It creates an unstable foundation from which to launch yourself. So if your soul is letting you know, like, hey, we need you to lay down. No one else is making you lay down. This is your higher self. No one else controls you, just like you can't control anyone else. So, card number 49, Uzumi, humor. And you have to remember to be able to laugh at yourself. Okay, Virgo? If you lose the ability to laugh at yourself and you're stumbling, it becomes a very ugly circumstance very quickly. Excuse me. Because Virgo has the ability to hyperfixate, which, I mean, y'all know you do. You have the ability to hyperfixate, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if quite a few of you have gotten the label or been accused of having ADHD or something of the like. That's an ability to hyperfixate. And if you're going to hyperfixate on the negative, what ends up happening? You begin to generate a charge that will manifest and perpetuate that negativity. Sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself. Sometimes you just got to say crazy stuff to yourself and laugh and be okay with it. All right. Because that's a very powerful way to negate the negative. It's very hard to stay pissed off if you're laughing. It's very, very hard to continue generating a charge of negativity to manifest and perpetuate negativity in your life if you're laughing. And that's the very reason why shit is going down in my life. I'm still laughing because fuck it. What else can happen? What else? What else? Let's see. So, see what I'm saying? Card number 34, abracadabra. And there you are. At the end of all of this, you get your bearings, okay? You find your footing and you rise. Rise higher than you ever thought you could. Look at how her hair is. This is such a Virgo card. Look at how her hair is. So perfectly and meticulously styled. It's all bound up. They say that power, your personal power, is represented by your hair. Okay. This is why some cultures don't believe in cutting hair. Well, look at her hair. Is this a statement that your power has been bound? No. This is a Virgo card because your personal power is so organized, and that shape, that nautilus shape, that's like a Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio. That's the path of ascension. This is telling you you are readying yourself to remember. You don't just aim for the stars. You recognize and accept you're made of them, and you take your rightful place among them. Okay. So, Virgo, everything's going to work out for you. You just have to let go. Open your hand and let go. And when you open your hand, you free yourself to receive the very things that are rightfully yours, not that Eva nonsense. Okay. So, let us go ahead and get you a card from your higher selves. Let's do this. All right. One more shuffle. Right. Big facts. That's right. Absolutely big facts. If you haven't already liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, please do share this out. All right. Get you guys your poetry. There you go. Card number 11, Sacred Convergence. Roaming about town, the master was holding a light, saying, I'm weary of the demons and the beasts. A human is what I'm longing for. The human cannot be found. We have searched. What cannot be found is what I'm longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I'm longing for. One hand holding up a cup of wine, the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of the circle is what I'm longing for. How I have longed for you, my very own. Look no further for the family beyond your family, the relationship beyond all other relationships, the great love that unveils all other loves to be mere reflections of the one great and true love is here for you now. It is I who has sought you through the stirrings of your own heart. Yes, 'twas I, hidden beneath every secret, yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all encompassing. Behind every yearning, always I have hidden. Now I show myself to you, that you may become so filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you, that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into an ocean of silent, unending bliss. Come to me. We are to be one now, in sacred convergence of silent, eternal passion. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There's an aspect of joining together for common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day to day consciousness. That common soul purpose may be to lift each other into greater love and self belief, to shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its personal passionate purpose. You'll have a sense when this process is happening. There will be a coming together of you with like minded souls who hail from all walks of life, and yet together, through some invisible genius, you will help each other. You may simply be dancing in the same room, or singing in a group, attending a class or workshop, or just visiting the same beach or parkland, but at that moment, there will be a sense of something coherent and nourishing happening at a far greater level. I mean, isn't that what's happening right now? You're releasing your fear and allowing yourself to open to the potentiality that there are others in existence right now at the same place in their journey that you're at, ready to rise. Isn't that what's kind of going on right now? And if you guys can hold on to each other, if you can figure out a way to hold on to each other and allow the hot air from all this shit that you talk to yourself, because Virgo, you talk a lot of shit to yourself. You say a lot of really, really, really mean things to yourself. And none of that is true. All of it is hot air. So if you all can just kind of hold hands and create a fabric, that hot air is what causes you to rise as a group. as a group. And this is really a call for you to begin utilizing the very things that are crippling you to empower you instead. As much as something can cripple you, if you can harness that and turn it into a strength, it can empower you just as intensely. The potency doesn't change, the direction and the use does. And if you can do that for every single thing in your life that's holding you down, how far are you going to rise? You have so many things that you've put in your mind, really heavy thoughts, heavy feelings on your chest and shoulders that have weighed you down. And if you allow yourself to recognize what that heaviness is, it's nothing more than the resistance necessary to build the endurance and the stamina for your appropriate rise. You can take these words as is, you can see how it fits, or you can disregard it. No one gets to control you. Okay? Just like you don't get to control anyone else, no one gets to control you. But it's time you begin recognizing. It's really, really time you begin recognizing you have the ability to co create something beyond what you think you're even worthy of. And obviously, there's something in creation that believes in you so much that it turns you into physical form, because that's what we are. We are nothing more than thoughts turned into form. Okay. So obviously, something believes in you so much that it brought you into being. Do something with it. Whatever it is you plan, do something with it. Do something that's no longer crippling you. Instead, allow it to help you to rise. Okay. So please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Bye, Virgo. I hope you benefit from this reading. Bye.